Hiya folks, well, got a little bit more work done on this bike. I'm going to pull some potatoes as well, the Boris ones and them at that end, because I need the pots to put some other plants in. But we had a bit of a sad week. We lost one of my dogs, or our dogs. We lost one of our dogs this week, and she was 15. She was older than all my children. And her sister's a little bit lost now, because we had two dogs and they were both sisters, so that was a little bit sad. But I've got some stuff done on this bike, which probably helped me get concentrated on this. Took my mind off the old Vino. Anyway, have a look. It's nice to be nice.
So that was a bit of a nightmare. Managed to get the pedal off eventually, knock the pins out. I broke one, bent one, and what I ended up doing is putting a that's the one I broke, but I put it in the vise and pushed it from the screw end with a socket on back, squeezed vice up until it popped out. But one of them bent when I tried that, other one popped out great. But I've got to take that off because all these bearings need cleaning out and everything, and I need to spray it and clean all this up as well. But we've been busy with it. It's raining again now, but that was that piece that needed welding. Still wants a bit more work on it, but it had basically fractured across and down, and it was floppy, but now it's solid, so that's a good thing. The stand, which $50 odd for a stand, this was bent. It's got a slight bend in it there. I'll sort that out, and it would split down here, so I've welded that as well. And then all this lot needs undercoating. I've got to retain all these, anything that's on it, for legal purposes. But I'm going to get on with that. So this here, because it's got no bearings in it, which surprised me, I've got to wire brush that off on the drill in the clamp. So I've got the pedals. I've got to give them some brushing, loving. I don't know what I'm going to do with arms. They're chromed. I've got to clean them. Thoughts on cleaning and preserving chrome, please. Now this is the worst place to put the camera, but I've done that with every part on bike so far. Well, apart from tank, hindsight, but that will all be sanded and wire wheeled to as much beauty as I can give it. These are white walls we're putting on it. I thought you'd just like to see that. I think they look pretty cool with the colours as well. Yeah, I'd have liked red better, or maroon. These are the old front sprung forks. They only cleaning up. They're just like chrome covers, and that goes up into head, which is the bit that I need to do now and tidy that up a bit. This piece went on the front of the steering columns to cover, if you excuse my spinning, to cover that bit. It was sort of chrome, but it was absolutely destroyed, so that will be cream. These will be cream because they were supposed to be chrome. I just hope the paint sticks okay. But I've got two of them. I was going to try and replate them, but polishing them was going to be an absolute nightmare. I tried. Now this is the original headstock at the top, and originally the handlebars came through here, and it's been retrofitted to come through here. I've left them holes, but there were other holes drilled in. You can see them now, but this was just for my benefit, so I can see them as well when I have to fill them again. These I'm going to fill with 2-part epoxy. Any of the dips will be filled with 2-part epoxy. This is body filler not nice on the bike. I can tidy that up a bit, but I could have welded it, but I might have burnt it as well because I've only got a stick welder. So, and if we put the original handlebars, if we can find some, into here, these I'll put some acorn nuts on, you know, cover nuts, and it'll look okay. But that's what I've got to do now. Finish that with epoxy. What I've got to do is just fill these little bits, because I wire brush this back after. There's a hole there, or there was a hole there, and one here. I'm using this because I need to mix so much of the other stuff to, well, the body filler. If I use body filler, I've got to mix so much of it that it's just a waste of material. And this, I can just mix a little bit, and it turns green when it's finished. It's like, they call it traffic light, but it's really good. And there is enough. And it's separate. And I think my chicken wings have just arrived. And it tightens up like that, which is good. Now I'm going to use a plastic scraper for this, or a plastic. It's orange and it's yellow and orange. Then it turns amber, and then when it sets up, it does green. But for that amount, I don't want to use a lot. I've just put it on my thumb, which I really didn't want to do. It's mixed, it's amber. And I hope I've got it filled there. Just using edge and bringing it in and rounding it up. There were lots of holes in this, which shouldn't have been there. And I'm hoping, hoping that this will keep it and stop them bits of body filler from popping out, but also be able to sand it to something that looks alright, because that's the top. The handlebars go through here or through here. Fingers crossed. So guys, I don't know if you can see, I've been quite busy. I've stripped it completely down now. Somebody's laid an egg. These are all obviously just in primer. I had to do some welding on this. It had a crack down it, so I welded it and straightened it. Hopefully that'll fit. If not, I'll have to buy one. But if I've saved it, it's like 60 francs for a stand. That's going to be the final colour. It's close to the one that it was. The one was a bit lighter and more metallic, but my son picked it, and fair enough, he's gone sort of conservative with it and tried to keep it original, which I quite like. The cream is going around there and through the middle. Green, green, the rest of it green. I had an there's the engine area, we've got to clean that. As you can see, that's very rusted. No bearings in this, funnily enough. So there is a grease nipple here. It's probably never been greased, as you can see, so I've got to clean all that. Here's exhaust that he broke. Well, he didn't break, he bent it over, pulled it out, fixed that. These are all the parts, every single part bagged up, labelled, so we know what they are. Got a wonderful job now. Got to degrease this. Got to clean that out. I found I have this little beauty, which will go through there and hopefully clean it and get in some other parts. I'm using everything I've got to degrease it. I've got it pretty clean. Wherever there's gunk, paint's not going to stick. I've just switched it over. I cleaned that out. I managed to chuck that up in the drill at that end, pass it through there. That's a brass bushing, so that's alright. And obviously there's a gap in the middle, space in between for grease, which it's probably never had. Well, that's not a normal grease nipple, it's just a cap, so I'm assuming it's a screw-on grease nipple. Keep going at it. I'm not going to be able to completely bare metal this like I did other, so I'm going to have to fade these dents in and rust spots and see how it turns out really, suck it and see, because that's the hardest part now, because I can't take these off, they're like little rivets, and if I take them off I can't get them back on. And again, it's all ID for it, you know. So that's ready to get a coat on. Undercoat, degreasing that were a bit of a nightmare. Whatever I can't get in here, I didn't get. I've masked all these little bits and pieces up and try and get a coat on this now. So we've made progress. We've got top coat on most stuff. It's just the first coat. That's also got to be green. I've got to re-sand it. But we're making progress. So that's going to be cream. These two bits are going to be cream. We'll have the cream inside and around the tank and in this area as well. But yeah, I've had a full day. I'm about 20 hours into this now. Probably 20 hours put into it already. We've scrubbed the engine down a bit. Got most of the thick stuff off, haven't we? Well, Dylan did, yeah, that's the first thing he's done on it. I know this bike, I know every nut and bolt on this bike. One of these shocks is a little bit bent. I'm going to try and straighten it, if I can. I should be able to. If not, then I might end up getting new shocks, but I think I've saved about everything else. We've still got a list what we need to order. So if you like it, thumbs up or a thumbs down. Don't forget, it's nice to be nice.